For the first time in history, Coco Gauff and stars celebrate in Lee's Guangzhou Open triumph. It was a night that tennis and the world will never forget. The courts of Guangzhou had seen champions rise before, but never had they witnessed a moment so pure, so emotional, and so unifying. Under the soft glow of the stadium lights, and Lee, the quiet American fighter with the heart of a lion, stood victorious, her arms raised, her tears flowing freely. The crowd, an ocean of cheers and flags, erupted in celebration. But what came next made this triumph historic. For the first time, Coco Gauff, along with tennis legends, rising star, and global icons, came together to honor and celebrate in Lee's triumph. It wasn't just about a trophy. It was about a comeback, a breakthrough, a story of perseverance and belief. This was more than a victory. It was a declaration, and Lee had arrived. A Cinderella story rewritten. And Lee's journey to this defining moment was far from easy. Just a year earlier, she had been on the verge of quitting tennis. Injuries plagued her, rankings slipped, and critics whispered that she had faded into the shadows of brighter stars. But where many saw a decline and saw a challenge, in interviews leading up to the Guangzhou Open, she spoke with quiet conviction. Sometimes you have to lose yourself to find your true game again. And find it she did. Match after match, she dismantled opponents with precision and calm. Her forehand found its rhythm. Her backhand regained its sting. The young woman who once questioned her future now played like someone who believed again. By the time she reached the final, fans across the world, from Philadelphia to Tokyo, were glued to their screens. Against a top-seeded opponent, Lee delivered the performance of her life. 7-5, 6-3. Clean, fearless, poetic. When the final point landed, she dropped her racket and covered her face. Tears fell freely, but they weren't tears of relief. They were tears of resurrection. Coco Gauff's beautiful tribute. Moments after the match, as social media flooded with highlights, Coco Gauff took to Instagram with a heartfelt message that instantly went viral. And this is your moment. You showed the world what heart looks like. We see you, we celebrate you. Coco's post wasn't just admiration, it was solidarity. The two young Americans, both born in the 2000s, had shared courts, conversations, and dreams. They understood each other's struggles, the weight of expectation, the loneliness of the grind, the fire it takes to rise again. Within hours, Gauff's message was shared by tennis icons like Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka, and Iga Swiatek. Even Billie Jean King reposted it with the words, "This is what sisterhood in sport looks like. Congratulations," and a celebration like no other. The official Guangzhou Open Champions Gala that followed was unlike anything tennis had ever seen. Usually a formal affair, this year's event turned into a celebration of unity, resilience, and joy. And Lee entered the ballroom wearing a stunning jade green gown, symbolizing rebirth and renewal, a tribute to the city's name, which means bright state. The crowd gave her a standing ovation that lasted nearly 5 minutes. Cameras flashed, music swelled, and in one corner, Coco Gauff, dressed in gold, clapped with genuine pride. When the host invited Gauff on stage to present Lee with a special Spirit of Tennis award, the moment became iconic. Coco handed her the Crystal Award, their hands clasping in shared emotion. The crowd watched two young champions, one holding a trophy, the other holding her friend's hand, and realized that this was the true beauty of the sport. And fought for this. Coco said into the mic, not for fame, not for headlines, but for love, love for the game, love for the journey. And tonight we all win because of that. And smiled through tears. I've always looked up to Coco, she said softly. Her courage, her honesty, it pushes me to believe. We're all in this together. The applause shook the hall. The world reacts. By morning, the news was everywhere. For the first time, tennis stars unite to celebrate in Lee's Guangzhou triumph. ESPN hailed it as the most emotional celebration in women's tennis since Serena's farewell. Time magazine called it a victory that redefined success. The WTA released a tribute video titled Rise and Lee, featuring clips of her journey, from practice courts to triumph, narrated by Coco Gauff herself. Celebrities outside the tennis world joined in. Zendaya tweeted, This is what grace and grit look like. LeBron James wrote. And Lee, welcome to the champions table. Taylor Swift posted a photo of and lifting her trophy. Captioned simply, "You did it." The story transcended sport. It became a cultural moment, a celebration of perseverance, womanhood, and the power of unity, a champion's soul. Behind Anne's quiet smile lies the heart of a warrior. Born in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, she had always been the kind of player who worked in silence. No flashy gestures, no fiery outbursts, just precision, patience, and discipline. Her parents, both engineers, taught her early that success was built, not given. But what makes Anne truly special is her humility. When asked about being celebrated by global stars, she laughed gently and said, "I'm just grateful. I play because I love tennis. If my story inspires even one person to keep going, that's enough for me." Her humility struck a chord in a world obsessed with fame, and Lee became an instant role model, proof that quiet determination can shine just as bright as loud ambition. Coco and Anne, the new face of women's tennis. Coco Gauff and Lee are more than friends. They're symbols of a new era in tennis. Both embody what the sport needs most: grace, authenticity, and unity. Their relationship mirrors what legends like Serena and Venus once represented. Competition grounded in respect. Fans began calling them the golden duo of grace. Not because they played doubles together. The final moment, a night to remember. As the Guangzhou celebration drew to an end, the lights dimmed and a short video montage played across the big screen. Moments from Anne's journey, from early childhood swings to her triumph. The soundtrack, a piano instrumental version of Rise Up. Then, a surprise. Coco appeared on stage again, holding a microphone. "And this song is for you," she said. And she sang, softly, beautifully, a few lines of "This Is Me" from The Greatest Showman. "I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be, this is me," and covered her face, overcome with emotion. The audience stood, many in tears. It wasn't just a gala, it was a global love letter to resilience. Epilogue, beyond the trophy. Weeks later, back in her quiet hometown, Lee visited a local tennis club. The kids ran to her with rackets in hand, shouting her name. She smiled, signed their balls, and told them the same thing she told herself years ago. "Don't quit. Not ever. Your time will come." And somewhere in another city, Coco Gauff watched the moment on her phone, smiling proudly. Two young women, two different paths. One shared dream, to make the world believe in possibility again. Because in that unforgettable moment in Guangzhou, history wasn't written on a scoreboard. It was written in the hearts of millions who watched, cried, and whispered to themselves. This is what greatness looks like. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.